How's it going, everyone? Welcome to The Hook, number 21. Wow, that's pretty, we're going pretty hard in the paint on this one. So, what do we got today? Today is round 2 preview of the America's Rugby Championship. So, going into it, wasn't sure where we'd be. Going into LA, new head coach. I knew the assistants were mostly the same, so I thought it would look pretty good because we'd have continuity of systems. And the squad, for the most part, is full of veterans of the Mitchell era, especially the younger guys. So, played a very contentious match. I don't think we wanted to do what we really wanted to do, And that is all a credit to the Argentine 15 and their head coach, Felipe Contempino. I think that's how you say it. That dude is jacked. I saw him in the press room. I was like, I'm doing something wrong. Because that guy, I'll be like that. So, they played a very intense defensive style up in our face. And there were some dirty hits going on. So we lost Marcel Brache, I think, to an MCL injury. There's no update on his status at this time. So, it was our first victory over Argentina 15, which is amazing. 17-10, all the way down to the last wire. Henko Hammerscheist, the Hammer sealed it by forcing the ball out and forcing Rodrigo Bruni to commit a knock-on going into the tri-zone. So that was great. Then I watched a little bit of Canada versus Uruguay. The best they could have done was they would have won on an aggregate score by 1, but it was called, and they lost, what was it? Yeah, it was like 32-30. They called the game, and then it came back. No, it was 31-30. That's right. Called the game back, and it ends up being 32-26 in favor of Uruguay in a 2-match outright victory and qualification for the America's Rugby 2 spot. And that means Canada now has to go through the repechage, so they're pretty much down. One of their board members stepped out off the board in response to that. Tons of craziness going on up there. Then I also got a chance to watch, going back a little, it was a little contentious. They played a lot better than they did at home against Uruguay. So, I wasn't really sure what to expect. They'll have had 2 matches under their belts, and we'll have only had 1, but, I expect this to be pretty intense. I've got the forecast from Rugby Forecast, and it should be pretty awesome. And I think we're gonna, I'll just have to get into it. Got that. And, going to Brazil, Chile, to be honest, I think the standard has dropped with those 2 teams. They both played really bad. And if you guys recall from the Autumn Internationals, Brazil lost to a pretty much full strength Germany team pretty badly. And then, we played them the next week, and then those players went on strike. So, not really sure what to expect out of, them. I think, like I said, the standard looked bad. So, that sets up the United States with what should see as a 5-0 victory in the ARC and retaining the cup. So, going into it, Gary Gold said in the press conference that he really wasn't going to change much. So, let's just look at what he pushed out. Tila Mosatelli starts at loosehead from Saracens. Joe Tafate, Mighty Joe. Love seeing this guy play, especially when they were running the ball in the center of the pitch in Los Angeles. He's from Worcester Warriors. Then we got Dino Waldron starting again from London Scottish. This front row pretty much, they went I think together, they went about 65 minutes, which is pretty intense. Behind them, starting again, is number 4 lock Nate Brakely, number 5 lock Nick Chavetta, blindside flanker Henko Hammerscheis, Austin Elite, number 7 open side flanker Tony Lamborn from Hawke's Bay, number 8 Cam Dolan from the San Diego Legion. At Scrum-Half, we've got Nate Augsburger. At Fly-Half, we've got Will McGee from Glendale Raptors. At blindside wing, we've got Ryan Matias from the San Diego Legion. At number 12, we've got Glendale Raptors. At inside center. At outside center, we've got Dylan Audsley. Dylan Audsley, man, that dude was insane. He played starter minutes on Saturday. He ended up playing 72 minutes in regulation after Marcel Brache got injured. That was some great stuff. I love seeing him play. He is a great young player. Good on SD Legion for getting him. And then a switch between Blaine Scully and Mikey Teo. Mikey Teo will start at open side wing. He's from the San Diego Legion. Man, his effort last week, he just made things happen. He didn't score, but every time he had the ball, he just, got the game line. When he didn't have the ball, he made his presence known on defense. That's what you really expect from a former defensive lineman from Long Beach Poly, Then number 15 fullback is Blaine Scully at captain from the Cardiff Blues. Going into the bench, it's really much of the same, although I wonder, why they didn't bring a center back in unless, the last guy name is also going to play center. I mean, he's a big dude, so I wouldn't be surprised. On the bench, you've got James Hildebrand from Manly Marlins, hooker. Then you've got Hula Hollow Mongoloa, loosehead from Life West. Then you've got Angus McClellan from the Griffins, or not the Griffins, from the Lions. And then you've got Ben Landry from the Glendale Raptors. Then you've got Andrew Duratalo from Worcester Warriors as well. And then reserve backs, we've got Sean Davies from Glendale Raptors, Will Hooley from the Bedford Blues, and Josh Whippy from the Utah Warriors. Josh Whippy, man, I really wanted to see him since the APC. It's kind of sad that he didn't start over the short autumn series. I'm looking forward to see him get capped and put on the Eagles kit. He's going to be something else. That guy is special. That guy's real special. And, that really isn't much of a change for Gary Gold. That's what he said. He said he liked a lot of things he saw, and he's going to play a, tempo match. I don't really expect the roster for Canada to change much. They made a bunch of changes last week after some injuries, and, just the interesting thing is that I sort of expect their bench to change. Here's why. Because Kingsley Jones was quoted in an article this last week for CBC, I believe it was. CBC Sports. And he's like, well, now I have the chance to build depth towards November when they play in the repechage. So I would not be surprised if a bunch of guys get called up throughout the rest of the ARC, and you have a bunch of debutantes out there, and they just start blooding dudes because they need younger players, which will be interesting. And then you have some guys that are younger players in their system that did not get called for the ARC. You're probably going to have guys like Eric Howard from Nola Gold come up, which would be great because I really like that kid. Really good dude. How do you put the predictions on this match, right? Well, this is what I got. A shout out to Rugby Forecast for doing the math on the ARC. So, for the USA, this is what we're going to call out. First, with an 85% chance of winning, United States 33/17, and Canada has a 13% chance. For me, I bump it to 90. I really think the United States is going to do something like it did in Mitchell's last match with us, and that's going to put 50 on Canada. I do not expect Canada to be able to keep up. I expect that they will be left in the dirt. They will probably score about 17 points, but we're gonna open up and win by almost 40. My other picks for this is Uruguay over Canada. Rugby Forecast has 20. No, correction. My other picks for this weekend are Uruguay over Brazil. Rugby Forecast has it as 22-12 for Uruguay. I am going to say 30 points easy, and Brazil only scores a penalty kick. And then the final pick, definitely agree with this, but it might be a little nice to Chile based on how Chile played against Brazil. Argentina 15, 59-11 over Chile. I definitely think that the Argies are going to put like 70 on Chile this weekend. That's all I got, guys. Go Eagles.